for David is, my first question for David is if anybody wants to contact you concerning this and want material, is it okay that we put your email address down in the chat?
Oh, certainly. That would be fantastic.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to do that, guys. We're going to put David's contact info, his email address, down in the chat comments. So if anybody wants to get, and I know he's got lots of material because I've seen it. If anybody wants to get material from him, you'll be able to contact him through his email address. Let's go ahead and open it up for any questions and answers. I'm sure somebody's got a question, so just jump right in, guys. What? Oh, David, you need to stop sharing your screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Ta-da! There we go.
There we go. Okay, great. So we're going to unmute everybody. So if anybody's got a question, go ahead and jump right in, guys.
Charlie must be your producer in the background.
Absolutely. You know, I couldn't do this on my own. Anybody got a question about any of those? I know that that's a lot of information, and it sure clears up a lot of things for me as far as the covenants, because I know that there's a lot of controversy nowadays about whether the covenants from the Old Testament are still around and whether we're still bound by the law and all of that. And me personally, I don't see it as the law. I see it as the 10 words that Dad wants us to have our best life. And for us to have our best life, we should follow his 10 words that would give us a great life. And I don't see them as commandments. Following, having those different covenants, how they all tie together, and just bring it all from the Old Testament into the New Testament.
Yeah, like I say, the main concept is, if God says it's an everlasting covenant, is it an everlasting covenant?
Yeah.
And I think it is. I'm gonna trust what he says.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
Covenants are forever, and God's not going to go against his word. Definitely not.
No, he's not. I mean, he's here. He was here then. He was he's here now. His word is always true. And he doesn't change his mind. He doesn't decide from 1 minute to the next, oh, I made a mistake, because he doesn't make mistakes. So he doesn't need to fix anything. Everything that was true then is true today, whether it was from the beginning of time or whether it was from 5 minutes ago. It all ties together. We may not be able to see it as men because we're not God, and we don't absolutely know his true plan and the things he has for us in whole. We might know parts of it, but we don't have the understanding of God in that way. So it's important that we study and show ourselves approved. Glad to see you with us, Larry. What about you? You got any questions?
No, I'm trying to catch up. It took me a while to connect over the Zoom.
Yeah, I hear you. So, all right, guys. Well, Gary.
Randy?
Oh, there you are, Gary.
Yeah, I totally in agreement with what he's teaching. I thought it through the whole time. I'm just glad I finally heard somebody confirm what I believe, because I think the Bible is not two testaments; it's one large book, I mean, beginning to end, and that his covenants are forever, and that he revealed them when he wanted to, when it was appropriate, throughout in the Bible for us to understand them, and that it's I remember when I was I follow Torah now. I kind of dropped being a Christian. I consider myself a follower of the Torah, And what I'm trying to say is I used to wonder, well, what is the New Testament? I mean, the New Covenant. I just never heard anybody speak it out, because you heard all about the covenants of the Old Testament. So what was the new one? Never heard anything about it. This explains it a lot more. I knew about it in Jeremiah, and this just really helps to explain it. And I really appreciate the teaching. Thank you.
Good. It once again, it was difficult when the language hides that there are everlasting covenants. When the words are changed, it makes it difficult. That's why
Right.
being able to see it in the original, in the Hebrew, and go,
Mhm.
wait a second, that's not what that says,
Right.
makes it to where you can see it, because it was hidden. I think they did their best, but they didn't understand. They missed this pattern. They wind up dividing the Bible. And so many times in life, we accept premises as being correct, and they're not.
Right.
If you ask most people, there's an old and a new, and
Right.
that's all they really know. And they don't
Right.
see the relevance of the others.
Yeah. Way back when what Constantine did, created the New Testament, so-called, all it did is really create division. And he was really trying to separate the Jews from us, from, the believers of Messiah, and start a whole new religion and stuff. And I just feel like that's where the division really got created, and it's been going from then on.
Yeah, it goes back to that period. Even when they were canonizing the Bible,
Right.
they set those books up as these are the New Testament books and those are the Old Testament
Yeah.
books and the Apocrypha. And they should have never divided it like that.
That's right. That's right.
They should
I
have never
agree. I agree.
divided the message.
Something that I see is one of the reasons why we're here is we get to act like a bridge from the Old Testament to the New Testament, being the Jews and the Gentiles, even though, we could look at ourselves as kind of either one, but we kind of get to act like that bridge between the Old Testament and the New Testament, and help everybody understand how they fit together instead of them being divided. So
Right.
I encourage you guys to think about it
Right.
in that manner, that when you have somebody who's on one side or the other, don't try to dissuade them, or persuade them. Just try to show them what we feel like is the truth,
Right.
and in a loving way. And we got a couple of new guys with us today, and I want to say hi to those guys. If you guys want to bring your video on so we can see you, I want to say hi to Andy and Tony. Glad you guys could make it with us this weekend. Hey, there's Andy. How you doing, buddy? I've met Andy before. I don't think I've ever met Tony. But regardless of whether I've actually met you in person or not, I'm glad you guys could join us. You got any you got anything to add there, Andy?
No, I think it, I just second everything that I'm hearing, and just this is all new to me, getting onto Zoom and doing all this stuff. So I'm just kind of settling in a little bit here and trying to get in with the technology of all this.
Yeah, I know. I see. It seems like most of the guys that are our age we're not like our wives. We're not up on all of this new technological stuff. I know I'm not. I'm constantly depending on my wife to help me with this stuff, but every day I strive to get better at it. Hey, Richard, I wanted to say hello to you also. I'm glad you could join us today. It's really glad to, I'm really glad you're here. What about you, Randy? Have you got anything to add?
No.
No? Okay.
No, he's an outstanding teacher. Enjoyed it.
I want to encourage you guys to contact David about his material. He's got some incredible material that would help you guys understand this even more. And I know he's ready to share it with you in a moment. So I want to encourage you guys to contact him. His email is down there in the chat notes. Contact him directly, and I'm sure he'll give you everything you need to be able to tie all this together. And if you didn't get everything that you thought you should need out of it, that his material will help you understand it even better. So I know I've got his material and it's great. It's awesome. So I want to
It's back from the printer. So I just got it all refreshed and got copies of everything again. So
Yeah.
Be happy to send it.
And I mentioned his daughter, Autumn, when we first started. They're a worship team. And man, I'm just a huge fan of Autumn. She's I heard her sing for the first time at a women's retreat that my wife went to. And I was there. I had to run in for a second just to give my wife something. And she was on stage singing, and it just blew me away. And she just recently got married here, what, yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yesterday. So congratulations to you, David, and her. Tell her our congratulations, and we're thinking about her, and God bless her and her new husband.
It all went very well, except
great.
for where her veil got caught in a bush, because it was an outdoor wedding. And we got kind of stopped, and it's like, she's like, Dad, you're gonna have to get me out of the bush. So I had to reach down and unhook her. So, but that was the funnest moment, actually. And the wedding went very, very well.
Well, good.
So.
We're glad. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and move on. I got a couple of things I want to go over with you guys real quick. It'll just be real fast. I want to encourage all of you guys, if you're not on Band yet, to go ahead and download the app. You can put it, they've got an app for your computer. They've got an app for your mobile, however you want to do it. This is going to be the thing that will tie us together eventually. So I just want to encourage you guys to download the app and join us in Band, because this is eventually how we're all going to make this thing happen. So if you're not there yet, jump on in. The next thing I want to throw at you is, so when I first started this thing, I committed to do 3 or 4 of these, and just to see how it goes. And it seems like we have a committed group here that would like to drive this thing forward. So I'm going to go forward with it from that viewpoint. And what I want from you guys is, we have to decide what our mission with this thing is, and how we want it to move forward. So I want you guys to think about it. Think about what you would like to see, how our group should move forward, whether we want to do something similar to how the ladies do it, whether we want to do it in just follow the teachings of the portion and the current portion that week or that month, or if we want to do it, take it in a different direction and just have speakers like we have been doing. So you guys think about that, and you can either, if you download the Band app, we can talk about it in Band, or you can email me directly and give me your thoughts on it, and I'll post them to the guys, and but if we discuss it and we think about it, we can move it forward, and it's a concerted effort, and not just somebody or one guy trying to bring it along by himself, and making it something not everybody wants it to be. So it's not something you have to do right this minute, but I want to encourage you to please think about it, and give me your thoughts. And I'm not sure what our next meeting is going to be. It looks like the 3rd Sunday of every month at about this time is going to be our regular meetings from now on. So we're going to, I know the ladies are sending out the link and the reminders for us, but I now have gotten a little better at Band, and I'm going to start, and I'm getting everybody's email addresses and contact stuff in there as I get it. So, and I will be posting it on Band also. So when you get the notification, add it to your calendar so you don't miss, because it makes it real easy to be able to click the link and just join the meeting. You don't have to do anything special. Just click the link and join the meeting. So has anybody got anything they want to add before we end the meeting today? No? Yeah.
Thanks
Randy,
for the invite.
you want to, oh, go ahead.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh. Yes. I got one other thing I want to add, guys. This is a little difficult for me. a man that I loved dearly, passed away on Friday. Uh, Charles Stallworth, he was with us for a couple of our meetings, but he passed away on Friday. And it's with mixed feelings that I throw this out there, because I am so happy for Charles that he has gone home to be with the Lord. I know where he's at now. And I know that, he was in his 80s when he passed. So he's had a good life. And he was a very celebrated man, a pastor. He's been a man of God his whole life. And he was a, he was a, he was a better father to me than the father that brought me into this world. And I just loved him dearly. So I just wanted to honor him by, um, announcing that today to you guys. So
Charlie was a sage, and he's been kicking these rocks that we're kicking now since the 70s.
yeah,
So he's been around the block a few times.
yep, yeah. And Alan has known Charlie a lot longer than I have. So I know this is hitting him as hard or worse than me, but um, uh, he was just an awesome man, and I loved him dearly. So if anybody's got anything else, if not, thank you guys for joining us. Randy, would you end us in prayer tonight, please?
Father, we thank you for this gathering. We thank you that we're able to share your thoughts, your desires in such a way that couldn't have been imagined just a few years ago. It's pleasing that this technology can be used. Thank you for just the covenants that you've given us, that we know and understand what everlasting means, that you're not a God of like a reed in the wind, that you're not like the other gods with the little g's that provoke us to anger or jealousy, whatever, just to amuse you, that we know that your desire for us is just out of love. We ask you to be with us. None of us know when our last breath here will be. Comfort us. And knowing that that's not a problem, not an issue, that you are there. I mean,